Hey you guys, so I am so excited to share this project with you guys. I am working on this really cool lantern that I built. I'll be showing you guys how to build this soon. And I wanted to be able to put panels in here, but I really wanted to use not just like regular vellum or something like that. I wanted to add interest and really make it perfect for the fall holiday season. And so I have this Roycycled Halloween decoupage paper. This is a 20 by 30 inch sheet. It's huge. There are actually 6 different project blocks on this sheet, you guys, so I can make a lot of things. So this sheet with the ravens is the one that I want to use for my project, but I want my paper to be a lot more transparent than it is, and I almost want to change the quality of the paper to look a lot like glass. And so I'm going to show you guys a few simple steps that we can take to make this happen. Let's get started. There are a few things that we're going to need for today's project. Of course, I have my Roycycled Halloween project blocks decoupage paper. I'm also going to be using Amazing Resin clear cast resin. So this is not the resin that we normally use when we make molds. This is actually like a coating resin, and so we're going to use this together, but we're going to mix it the exact same way, you guys. I'm also going to use some Dollar Tree brushes, you guys. I don't want to use anything expensive because I know that once I'm done with this project, I'm going to have to throw this brush away. So these I found at the Dollar Tree. I got 5 of them for $1. So they are perfect for this project. And so let's get started with our project. Here on my work table, I've already taped down 2 sheets of wax paper, and I have the shiny side facing up on this wax paper. And so I'm going to go ahead and trim off this piece. This is a piece that I need and that I want to use for today's project. And I am just going to trim that right off of here. And the cool thing about the project block decoupage sheets is that even after you use like the portion for your current project, you still have all of this left to do 4 more projects, right? So I'm gonna fold this up and put this away, and I'll use this another day. And so I just love the color of this paper and the texture of it. So this is what we're going to be using. I am going to go ahead and cut this in half just to make it more manageable, because I'm going to be spreading resin on here, and I want to be able to handle the paper without any problems. So when I put my resin on the paper, you guys, I'm going to leave about a 1-inch band without resin. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can handle my paper effectively, and also so that I can clip my paper and hang it without having to worry about my clip getting stuck to my paper. So I'm going to have to decide kind of what portions I want to show on my lantern, so that I can make sure that whatever piece I leave off is not going to be something that I really want. I know that I'm going to want ravens on at least one of my panels, and then I'm going to want the moon and the script on at least one panel. But I think I'll be safe if I leave this bottom portion just an inch off of here, so that I can have a piece to hold on to, and to also have a piece to hang. And the same with this piece. I'm going to want to make sure that I include these ravens, and I want to make sure that I include this really pretty gate here. So I'm going to leave this edge here for me to be able to handle, and to also for me to be able to hang it after I'm done. So before I get started, I'm going to have to mix my resin. I am anticipating for these 2 larger sheets that I'm going to mix about 20 milliliters of resin, or milligrams of resin, in order to get both of these sheets covered in their entirety. So I'm going to put these aside for just a second, And I have me a silicone cup here, and I use this whenever I'm mixing resin. I love them because they're reusable. When the resin dries, I simply pull the resin out and my cup is good to go for the next time. There are measurements that are marked on the cup, but if you look closely, they're just like raised and they're not marked. So I just went in with my marker and just marked those so that I can see them, because I'm blind, y'all. I can't see that if it's not marked. So I have it marked here, so I know that if I'm going to do 20 milligrams, I can pour up to the first line with A and up to the second line with B, which is what we'll be doing today. Whenever I'm measuring my resin, I try to look at it from a level perspective. If you're looking down on your cup, you're really not going to get an accurate measurement. And so I really want to try to hold my cup as level as possible, and look at it at eye level so that I get an accurate measurement. My bottles are really old, you guys, so I don't think it pours that thick normally. So be prepared that when you pour your resin, it'll probably pour a lot faster. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pour in part B into my cup. I'm holding my cup eye level, and I am just pouring to that second line now with part B. And part B is the hardener. So this is what's gonna make the resin hard. Unlike the other casting resin that we normally use, you have an open time of about 25 minutes with this resin. So you really wanna spend a significant amount of time stirring and making sure that your mixture is mixed really, really well. So I am just going to stir, 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 probably for about a minute or so, just to make sure that those two, that the mixture is integrated really, really well. Now, I'm getting a lot of bubbles, so if I was using this to coat something, I would probably want to set this aside and let those bubbles rest a little bit for it. But for the purpose of today, it really doesn't matter because we're just going to use it to brush on a coat onto our paper. And I think that we are all ready to go. So I'm going to take my brush. You guys, this is so easy. And I am simply going to lay my paper down on my wax paper. And I'm going to paint this resin right over the top of my paper. Now, it's really important to note that this is clear cast resin, not casting resin. So this is the kind that you would use on a bar top or in a tray, something that you're going to use to cover a surface, even your countertops. Now that I have this side fully coated, I'm going to turn it around, which is why I have my wax paper here so that it doesn't stick. And I'm going to coat the back side of my paper. So it looks like for this project, I'm actually going to probably need 40 milliliters of resin to cover both sheets. Now that this sheet is completely covered, you can already see how the transparency of the paper is changing. This is going to be so fabulous on my lantern, you guys. I'm so excited. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to hang it outside. I do want to tell you guys that when you're using this product, you should wear gloves. Don't do what I do, you guys. Do as I say. Wear gloves, safety first. And you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area because unlike the amazing casting resin, this resin does have an odor. So you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Make sure that you wear gloves when you handle this. And so I'm actually going to take this outside and I'm going to hang it on a rack that I have on my platform just outside of my shop. And then we'll come back and you guys, I'll show you guys exactly what this looks like and how wonderful this transforms after this process. And then we're gonna make a lantern just so you guys can see how gorgeous it's gonna be. But until then, I'll be back. When hanging my paper out to dry, you guys, I just use a really simple binder clip. You guys know we have these, they're super handy. I use them for all kinds of stuff, including my chip bags in my kitchen. But hanging out to dry, after about 6 hours, you'll be able to take it down and it'll still be pretty malleable, but it takes about 24 hours for it to fully cure. And when you're done, you guys, you end up with this really cool piece of tissue paper. It has a little bit more structure to it, and it looks a lot like glass, and I am super excited. I want to show you guys what this paper looked like before. So this is off of my typography project blocks decoupage paper, and I have a piece of that left. So this is what it looked like before, right? And this is what it looks like after I add the resin to the paper. I just think it's so ethereal and absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be perfect in my lantern, right? So that's all we have for today's tutorial. I know it's super quick, but I'll be doing a tutorial on how to build this lantern, and I wanted to make sure that we included how we made the paper that goes into the lantern. So you guys make sure you check out the video on how we built the lantern, so you can see how we use this paper. And I'll probably be doing a lot of tutorials using this paper that's been treated like this, because I think the options are like tremendous. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you liked today's tutorial, please be sure and subscribe. We upload videos at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So if you hit the bell, you'll actually get an alert whenever we upload a new video, so that you never miss a tutorial. Thank you so much. If you have any questions about anything I used today, or you'd like to find me on my website, it's roycycled.com. You guys have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.